Hello and welcome to this week's vlog. So this week I'm carrying on the book that I started last week, obviously. Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste N.G. I am currently 100, I don't know if I'm there currently, I'm currently 160 pages through. It is a 3 stars at the moment. I felt at within the first 100 pages, I should say, it was a information bomb, a tiny bit about this main family, the Richardsons, and I don't do information bombs. I don't, especially when it's, I know why it's there, because it's setting up the differences between the Richardsons and Mia and her daughter Pearl, but it was a little bit too much for me, and it was quite obvious, even though it says on the back what the big thing is. It was obvious how it was going to get started. So yeah, like I said, 3 stars at the moment. I know a lot of people love this book. I'm not getting it at the moment, but I have 220 pages to go, so that might change. What we're going to read after this, I plan to read Jade Fire Gold by C.L. Tan. That is the Patreon pick on Jade, from Jade Raid Reads Patreon. It's what we're all reading. Well, anyone who wants to read, and from what I've seen so far in the Discord, a lot of people are saying it's a quick read. So I'm hoping I can smash that one out, and then I have 2 other books in mind that I would love to start this week. However, I'm not going to say what they are, just in case I don't get around to reading them. Apart from work, I don't have anything planned this week, and D&D, and we didn't play this week because one of our party was ill. I'm hoping we can play again this week because I need to be around friends. Even though I see my work colleagues, I love them so much, I need to be around friends as well, outside of work. And yeah, that's it. So I should be able to smash out Jade Fire Gold, and then another book as well. But let's see what happens. This is me, and you never know, something might change. Filming wise, other videos, what have I to do? I have to edit my wrap up for November, December. I need to film my goals for 2022. I need to film my 22 books to read in 2022. There was something else I have to read. Film Buzzword. I still haven't done my Buzzword-a-thon TBR. That will probably come out end of the month. I'm trying to space out the extra books, extra videos I should say, but I know there's a lot of videos that come out in January, and if you be in my channel, you know I don't follow what everyone else does, so it might be that in February I do my 22 books to read in 2022, or and in February I might do my Pop Sugar TBR as well. I've only shown you like 6 of the prompts I want to complete this month, so 6 out of 40 isn't that much really. Yeah, and I've also been looking at TBRs to participate. There is the Sims readathon. I will link the Twitter down below. That is happening in February. I am thinking of participating in that as well. You know me, I like my readathons. Yeah, so that's it. Will I get all that filming done? I don't know, because I don't like filming at night, because my light in my bedroom isn't as nice as this one. It's more yellowy, but I think that's because of the walls, and if you see when I film them, it's very obvious it's fake light, and I am normally tired, so I don't normally want to film after work. So yeah, my nights are just consisted of wrapping up in a nice blanket and sleeping, reading downstairs. This is a blanket that is literally the size of I wouldn't say a double bed. It might just be a tiny bit smaller, that my best friend's parents got me a few years ago, and it's very cuddly and very warm, which is good for January because it's freezing. Well, I say it's freezing, it's meant to be like 6 degrees or something, and I'm literally just like, where? That's it for now. I will update you Wednesday when I have hopefully finished Little Fires Everywhere. I've kind of said to myself in January that I'm going to read at least 100 pages every weekday just to get me through my books. So it seems to be working so far. If I read 3 books this week and then 3 books next week, I will have a spare week to read extra books, which is good. A good start to the stumble there. A good start to the beginning of the year. Let's hope it carries on. Hey, it's Wednesday. I haven't updated you, but I have finished Little Fires Everywhere. I've rated it 2 stars. Let's start with what I didn't like. Oh, the mums. I didn't like Mrs. Richardson. I didn't like Mia. I felt they were both very neglectful parents who thought they were right and looked down on each other for not having the same views as them. It's very obvious that it's the way it's written that we are meant to root for Mia, I feel. But I feel she shouldn't have stuck her nose in, because actually when you look at her past, she's been a little bit hypocritical. But then when you look at Mrs. Richardson, she's very much, it has to be this way, I am right. She emotionally abuses her youngest daughter, who, small spoiler, was a preemie. So I totally wanted to root for that mother. This could have been the premise could have been good. The synopsis overall look at a taboo subject of children of other nationalities being adopted into families that aren't of their nationality, and how are they going to learn about their nation, nation and the culture and stuff. I don't think it was written that well. The only character I genuinely felt for was Izzy, and even then, she's not a character that's developed a lot, but at her tender age, she's the only character who kind of sees both sides, and it's like she's 14, where the adults who are meant to see like both sides. But yeah, 2 stars, and one who that I will be unhauling at the end of the year. What I have started is Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan. A boy who has lost his throne, really. A girl who is an orphan. They meet and they realise they can both help each other. Yeah, really. On the back it says, "This is a girl I have to put my faith in. This is a girl who will help me get my throne back. This is a girl who will either be my salvation or the damnation of the entire world." And I've currently read 13%. I think I know exactly what the twist will be with the girl. I have a feeling that there's going to be another couple of twists with the boy, and it feels like a very quick read. So I will update you again when I finished, or if I finish, or who knows. Hey, 9:30 Friday, I finished Jade Fire Gold. 4 stars. The magic. I loved the magic. I loved how it fit in with the world. I like how it didn't feel forced. I know I don't do a lot of reviews here. It's obvious. But one thing I do think I have said quite a bit is, if I don't understand the magic or I don't like the magic, I don't like the book. I like the magic. I kind of understood how it worked and how it could change, how it can affect people. Loved it. The main plot of this story and the pacing and the writing of the story was really well, especially in the first 80% of this book. I loved, that's not for the writing was quite good for the majority of the book, well, for more than 80%, if that makes sense. Yeah, but the pacing, the going between, because you go between 2 POVs, the flitting between it worked quite well. I liked how it was kind of broken down into parts, and these stories kind of flowed and got and gelled together. Were majority of the twist obvious? Yes. And were most of the reveals obvious? Yes. But even though they're obvious, because the writing was so well, you didn't feel cheated. You were like, all right, cool, that's kind of an obvious well, not an obvious, an organic conclusion, I'll say. I like it, an organic reveal, that organic twist, I like it. And then you get to the reveal of the object, and that twist. Was it obvious? Not really to me. So yeah, I liked it. Everything after that, I feel like the pacing just went off the scale, and it felt very much rushed. The actual conclusion of the main plot as well, again, it felt rushed. I wanted more. I wanted it drawn out a little bit more. This is a 464, well, on Goodreads it's 464, but in mine it's 449. So it's a decent sized book. I would have kind of loved another 20-30 pages of that conclusion, just extended a little bit more, because it felt very much, oh, I need to wrap this up, crush it. But I do know that I think for this book, the author's intention was for it to be a duology. However, she was talked into editing it down and making it just a standalone. I feel that was the wrong choice, and especially with that epilogue, I think a sequel would have been really good, because you could have followed that character, who, I'll be honest, I did think was one of our main characters. Spoiler, probably not, because I think a lot of people have the same thoughts, especially on Goodreads. I would have loved a book from that character's point of view, because minor spoiler, I'll flash up a spoiler card here. If that spoiler card is still there, just skip along, so skip if you don't want to be minor spoiled. So with Alton's sister, you are kind of made to believe that they had this loving relationship, they got on really well, he was devastated, and then you get this random memory of where she bet his pet with the aim to kill his pet or her pet, whoever won this game of hide and seek, and it was so random. And then in the epilogue, it's in her POV, and it's she says, "It's time for me to go home. It's time for me to take back what is rightfully mine," she murmurs, remembering the boy she once loved, the brother who became emperor. So it's kind of like, well, did they have this good relationship, or was this hidden to be a second book? I don't know. Maybe the publishers are going to see how well this book does and then announce a sequel. I don't know. But I think when I heard that story, I was a bit like, oh, maybe I'm not going to be able to tell. You can tell in the conclusion of this book that a heck of a lot has been cut down, and it felt rushed, and I didn't like that. Another thing I didn't like was the romance. Yeah, I thought it could have been a really good friendship. It could have been a different type of relationship. Again, if you read this book, you kind of will know what I mean. And then with the romance, I was kind of like, we don't need it. We don't need this romance. Yeah, but apart from that, a good book. So I have given it 4 stars. I can't remember if I've said that already, but yeah, 4 stars. But that is book number 5 of the year, complete. And for Pop Sugar, that is to read a book about witches. But it's the 14th of January. I am just over halfway through my TBR. I had a TBR of 9 books. Did I? Yep, 9 books, and I've read 5. So yay. It is a weekend now, so I should be able to smash out another book. Do I know what that will be? No, because I'm in the predicament where there are 3 books out of the 4 that I really want to read, and that I was kind of gutted I didn't read last year. And then the 4th one I can give or take. That is the sequel to The Last Graduate. I can't remember the name of it. So I'm thinking I might pick that one up just to get it out of the way. If you haven't seen my vlog for where I read that book last year, I don't ask me where it was, I can't remember. It was a 3.5-star book, the first book, so I'm kind of iffy on the sequel, but I'll talk more about that when I get to it. So yeah, I do know what, I could potentially start my 6th book tonight. I think you can probably tell in this clip I am shattered, and I'm kind of having to force my eyes just a little bit more wide, because I could literally fall asleep. I actually did fall asleep after tea for 2.5 hours, which isn't good. So I'm gonna go chuck on some ASMR and go to sleep. There will be a video up tomorrow. I've already filmed it, edited it. I just need to make it from unlisted to public. So I will update you tomorrow with the book that I end up reading. Hello, it's Saturday evening. I don't know why I'm looking quite red, because you can probably hear it, but I have the window open. And I do feel quite warm, and I don't know why, because it's generally cool, so I'll worry about that later. But I did end up starting The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik, the 2nd book in the Skullman series. Well, lesson 2. Why was I not looking forward to this one? The first book, The Last Graduate, I gave a 3.5 stars last year. I think it was 3.5 or it was 3. It was one of those, but I didn't enjoy the premise. Well, I enjoyed half of the premises, but it was like the kind of magic I couldn't kind of understand. Well, not understand, but couldn't get my head around and stuff. And it was a very info dump fit. What is this book about? Well, obviously it's a sequel, so I can't say too much, but you have a young girl called Elle who's prophesied will be this dark magician type person and is going to basically destroy the world. And she's in this school where to stay alive and to graduate you have to kill all these types of monsters and make an alliance, but because she's got this prophecy, no one wants to make an alliance with her. But then she ends up falling into this found family type group and you see their adventures type thing. This is a sequel, so obviously it falls on from the first book, so again I can't spoil too much, but they are in their last year of, I am about 90 pages through by the way, and they are in the, I'm going to double check what I can tell you. Yeah, I was just double checking because what I've read I didn't know if it was in here, but it is in here. So it's straight after the ending of the first book, and it's Elle's final year, and she's kind of gearing up to do this final challenge to survive and thinking about what she's going to do afterwards. And she starts to realise that the school is, basically in the school there's no teachers, it's all kind of run by itself, and the magic is not in this world, it's just outside. It sounds complicated, it kind of is. Yeah, it's like outside of the realm of time, if I remember. Yeah, one of the reasons I don't really like the magic too much as well, because it's not, it's explained, but it's not explained in terms of how it all fits and in this world and how it runs, and I'm just, yeah. Because I think you'll find, well, I think I find a lot of the time the books that I like with magic, it's understandable how the magic fits in with the world, and I'm not getting that, but again, I digress. So it's afterwards what happened in the first book, it's new start of a new year, Elle's thinking it's going to be the same as normal. It's realised very quickly that the school is trying to get her, they want her to die. Yeah. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm about 90 pages through, I think. Well, 92 pages through. Yeah, it's a 3 stars. and if I'm honest, if this book overall ends up being a 3 stars, I will I want to say I won't carry on the series, but I carried on after the first one, so no point lying to myself. Although from what I've heard, this book is better than the first, well, so fingers crossed that happens. It is 388 pages. I potentially could read it all tonight. I read them 92 in a 45-minute sprint. So potentially I could read it all tonight. Do I want to? Not really. Yeah, so while I could finish it today, I know a lot of people thinking Michelle, but this is me, you know, I can do that. Based on that sprint. I'm not planning to. My plan is to go up the 200 page mark and then finish it tomorrow. Because, do you know how I said yesterday that my wrap up for November, December was uploaded and just needs to be off the unlist? Yeah. I got that mixed up. I still have to edit my wrap up. So once I get past 200 page mark, I'll stop, finish editing, and then upload it. Probably upload it for tomorrow, because I found if I upload it without it going public straight away, it uploads a lot quicker. So I think that's my plan from going forward. It's another reason why I'm keeping my vlogs uploads to Wednesdays, because I edit half of it Monday. Well, I edit it Monday, run through Tuesday, edit anything else that I've missed, upload, unlisted. It's normally up within like an hour, and then Wednesday I can just go public. So yeah, so like I said, 3 stars at the moment. I will update you, I don't know when. Might update tonight, might update tomorrow when I finish. Let's see. Hello, Sunday morning. Hence bedhead, pyjamas. I finished The Last Graduate this morning. It's a 3 star again. There is still one of the things I really didn't like in the first book was it was very info dumpy, a lot of information that you weren't going to remember because there was so much of it. And when you were given important bits of information or little snippets that, you know, you would have liked, they were expanded for like 3 or 4 pages. Yeah, you get that a lot again in this one, and a lot of it was some things that you could have guessed. For example, the fact that the children from the Indian enclave don't want to hang around, or don't, when she's got this fantastic plan, don't want to be involved because of her grandma's prophecies and stuff. And I'm like, because she's so well renowned, and I'm like, we knew that from the first book. Why is that getting brought up again for like 3 pages? I don't need this explained to me. It's, you know, it's one of those where it's like, and it's like, oh yeah, but not many people outside of that know about this prophecy. And I'm like, but isn't that the reason people don't want, well, they don't want you part of their group was because of this prophecy? So yeah, very info dumpy, hence the 2 star deduction. It did take away a bit from my enjoyment, because I found I was skipping, like, reading full pages. I was just skimming it, and I don't like that. So yeah, that's the thing that I didn't like. What I did, the character development, wow. Even from the start of this book to the end, but from book 1 to book 2, Elle has gone from this girl who doesn't trust people, doesn't want to be around people, is convinced she's just going to kill people because she's got no control, to actually kind of taking control of her powers and finding this found family and finding friends that she genuinely cares about. And then you've got Orion, who goes from this kind of loner to just wanting to be a hero and don't want to talk about things, to opening up to Elle and having their relationship develop from something that I felt was very, not forced, but kind of one of those where it's like, well, this is going to be like the villain falling in love with the good kid, you know, got the heroes type stuff. And it kind of was, but except neither of them are villains. But when he opened up to her at the end of this book in that place and that happened, I do think we may be setting up a villain arc. And the relationships between the side characters as well. Like Liu, I think her name is, her little predicament when that at the end when it wasn't the character we thought it was going to be, and you were like, and then she explains why, and I just want to give her a hug. And her development as development, even to an extent the New York enclave, like when you found out that they were just using Orion, and Elle was literally like, I'm gonna like, go kill every single one of these. But at the end they were happy to share, everyone worked together. That isn't a big spoiler, by the way, about the enclave, the New York enclave kind of wanting to work. You kind of see it being set up in the first book and it just carries on in this one. And the overall story for this one was good as well. But if I'm honest, the cliffhanger, why do we need that? Why, Naomi? If you could have given me like not a cliffhanger, I could have given you 3.5 stars. But yeah, I did kind of say to myself, if this came out as a 3-star book like the first book did, I wouldn't carry on this series. For the cliffhanger and the relationship developments, I will carry on this series. But when I get that third book, it will not be a priority to read straight away. So that's my third book of the week read. It's nearly 10 o'clock. I need to get a shower because I've got D&D. But I will be starting the fourth book today. I will probably finish it tonight as well, depending on which of the 3 I pick up. But I'm not really in a fantasy mood, so I think there's only one book I can pick, which is Mimic by Daniel Cole, which is basically a serial killer from the 70s, was never found. The two officers in charge, one of them got injured, I think, and they just stopped, let the case go cold. It's now in the 2000s, a new recruit's come in, opened up this case. She's found like little clues, I think, of what who it might be. Got them 2 back involved, then the killers kind of come out of retirement. So yeah, bit drastically different. But that's me. So yeah, I will update you when I have read that, or got somewhere through, because I still need to finish editing my wrap up. I have a feeling that might be a Monday upload now, not today upload. This is what happens when you don't write things down, Michelle. But yeah, I will go and I will update you when I have either edited and uploaded or I have got somewhere through Mimic. Hello, you may think, Michelle, what a weird angle. It's because I realised I didn't end this vlog on Sunday. It's now Monday evening. I am about 100 pages, or is it 100% then? 100 pages through Mimic. I'm not reading it as good as I did Ragdoll. I don't think it's going to be as highly rated, which is a bummer, but looking at the rating on Goodreads, just the number, I think a lot of people felt the same way. So yeah, I will wrap up this vlog here. Another good week, another 3 books read. At this rate, potentially next week I could finish my TBR for January, that's planned. And I have other books in mind to read. So until the next video, bye!